Good afternoon, Chairman Clayton He and members of the Judiciary Committee. Many of you know me. My name is Tambry Young. I have been advocating for this since 2009, the civil unions movement. And this truly is about families and children. My daughter, who was 9 at the time, did not testify during those hearings, but she is here today to represent the children who this is going to affect. Let me assure you that the effects on children, especially mine, will be positive. I can tell you all about the rights that we need and all of those things, but many have eloquently talked about that. So I'm here this time to talk about why it's important that children are allowed to learn about this. And if they're going to teach it in the schools, then that is what we need to do. We need to teach them about diversity, about acceptance, and about honoring all families and the makeup of every family. Okay.
Thank you, Tambry.
I'm going to just stand here.
Aloha, Chair He and members of the committee. My name is Shylar Young and I'm 13 years old. My parents are Tambry and Suzanne Young. My moms have been together for 32 years. They weren't granted the same benefits that are given to straight married couples. Our family has had to pay an extra $1,500 to the government this year. If you multiply that by the 4 years that I've been here fighting with my moms, that's $6,000. So what if their kids will have to learn and accept it in schools? Families like mine are already in our schools. How does our family's happiness and love affect those who are against us? By allowing my moms to be married in Hawaii, it will only give them what every other straight married couple has. Many of the people against marriage equality will say and believe that I will be weird, but they don't know that. They don't know me. I'm a member of the National Honor Society. I have a 4.0 GPA, and my first film was in the Hawaii Film International Festival. And so I ask you to support families like mine and to vote to pass marriage equality bill. Thank you.
Thank you. Can I ask you a question, please? I may have missed it, but you referred to money that your parents being assessed that otherwise they would not be assessed. Can you explain that?
Well, with them not being able to be married, they have to pay an extra $1,500. But with allowing them to do this, they will be able to save $1,500 each year.
And that is for what purpose? And if you want your mother to answer, that'd be fine. It's up to you.
That was based on the pre-tax savings that was afforded that was not afforded to Suzanne in order to claim my medical coverage benefits. Yes, with the fall of DOMA, that is now affording us those rights because we did go to Massachusetts and get married. For us, we will. But for the past, what she's talking about also is the past years that we couldn't. We didn't get that. Currently, I think which wasn't clear is, yes, our families can go to another state. We can fly away and go and get married, and then come back home and receive some of the federal benefits that is going to be afforded us. But it's not all. And the big one, I think somebody also talked about, was Social Security. Those things wouldn't be afforded to us. This idea that we can just go to another state, what other couple, other couples have to do that? There is a burden. Many of us can't go fly away. Luckily, we were able to, but there's a lot of other families within the community that can't afford that, to do that. So there is a burden.
Tambry, is Social Security the big ticket item in your
I think currently that's one of those that hasn't been resolved yet. And I couldn't name off all of them, but that is a big one. And for those people who are of opposite sex couples that are married, I don't know if they realize how many of them can talk about every benefit that they received. Yeah, but I'm sure all of them understand that if one of them should die, that Social Security would help their families continue to live and survive. If Suzanne were to die, and Suzanne is the primary, stakeholder or money who supports us, if she were to die, we would be at a loss. Shylar would be at a loss. We would be at a loss to survive and do the things we need to support our families. That's why when we talk about it's about families and supporting families, those are the things we're looking about. We can, and I'm not the legal person or the taxation person who can talk about those individual things, but I can tell you that just on a level of family, this is what children see. Children see that their family is not being treated equally. That's what it's about. She gets this. We thought she got it back in 2009. We thought she understood that it was about the rights and benefits and protections, but it's not about that. It is about feeling that they are an important part of society and validating that as a family. When we were in Boston, that's when we realized that she realized we were not equal. That we were not equal, okay? So whether all the people that want to speak up for families, please let me tell you, we are the family. We are in your schools. She is in your children, with your children in schools, learning about all the things that maybe we wouldn't want her to learn about, but that's a part of growing, and that's a part of diversity, and that is a part of, learning about other people. It's not just about your belief. I respect your belief in your church to believe that it's between one man and one woman, but thank you.
Okay, Tambry, thank you.
Indulge a little bit.
Senator Ihara has a follow-up.
So are you saying that if you did not get married in Massachusetts, and if you were not married today, and if the bill was not passed, then you would have to pay $1,500 more this year?
We would have to, yes, that's estimated on pre-tax savings. Suzanne would have to pay $1,600 more. That's not to mention what her company has to pay more.
Right.
Okay,
right.
So there's a lot of things that aren't. But luckily we are married. We are married in Massachusetts, and we went there. But for those that are not married, only hold a civil union, be clear that they are being affected.
Okay.
Financially.
Yeah. Okay. Senator Gabbard has a question. Talk to us, Tambry.
Okay.
Tambry, you mentioned about teaching kids in the schools that it's perfectly fine, but one of the concerns that we've heard repeatedly here and in other venues is that people who pay taxpayer dollars to fund the public schools, they're concerned that they don't want their kids taught that homosexuality is normal. Mm-hmm. And yet when you legalize same-sex marriage, the state is coming in and saying, this is a good thing, it's on an equal basis as heterosexual marriage. So how do you respond to those folks who say, hey, I don't want my kid taught that?
Well,
they have a different set of values. I mean, I understand your set of values. Their values are different.
Right.
How do you do that so that you respect their personally held religious and spiritual values?
Well, I would hope that what they would want their children to learn is to respect people. And if that takes our education system, takes them to make that happen in the best and appropriate way, then I would say that we have to do that. I am upset that teachers would stand here and actually promote the idea of discrimination. Are we not a society that has to thrive on tolerance? My daughter has to tolerate what she hears every day from people about her family. And I'm not saying that, that you should have to hear what we have to say, but I'm sure at the time of the passage of the civil rights movement, many people would have opted out their children learning about civil rights and what that whole movement was about. So we need to move forward. This is not a bill about how we give one class of people more than the other class of people. This is about moving our society forward. The Constitution is a living, growing, breathing document that our forefathers put together that to this day is our obligation to move forward and to strengthen and to build. and to give, not to hold back, not to discriminate, not to destroy, not because of fear and any of that. We are not taking any rights away from anyone else that you cannot gain. Yes, you love your neighbors, but some of your neighbors.
Talk to
yes,
us,
you
Tambry.
believe they want to do this,
Talk,
but they
Tambry,
shouldn't get
talk to
everyone.
us. Okay.
Sorry about that.
Okay. Thank you. Any other questions? Thank you very much, and
Thank you.
thank you to your daughter. Yeah, thank you.